So let's talk about another book that has been shortlisted for the 2022 International Prize. This is also the first book that's been translated from Hindi to make it onto the long list, let alone the short list, and that is, of course, Tomb of Sand by Geetanjali Shree and translated by Daisy Rockwell. Hi, my name is Sarah Freshly, and welcome to Freshly Read Books. So let's start with the synopsis. This book follows a family, but mostly it follows two women in that family, that being a mother who we'll refer to as Ma, as that is how she is referred to throughout most of the book, and also her adult daughter, Betty. So Ma, who is 81, has recently lost her husband at the beginning of this book, and she is bedridden with grief. But when she does return to the world, she seems to be changed, or at least changing. She sees the world in this new way and is very accepting, or almost even seeks out this changed world. Betty struggles to not only care for Ma, but she also kind of grapples with these new thoughts that Ma has. What is incredibly apparent is the role reversal that Shree portrays for us throughout this book. Betty was, of course, obviously raised by Ma, her mother, but throughout this book we see this role reversal where Betty is now caring for her mother. So Ma is coming out of this depression, coming out of being just confined to a bed for a very long period of time, and she needs help walking. She needs help with everything, and Betty is taking care of her in that way. So she helps her to walk until she's able to walk without her. And it's a very clear comparison to walking with a child for the first time, to helping a child walk and learn to walk, and then at some point they are able to walk on their own without you. Not only that, but Ma also has this friend Rosie that Betty isn't really sure about. She doesn't know if she really likes that Ma and Rosie are hanging out together, which is very reminiscent of a parent being unsure of somebody that their child is hanging out with, but still wanting to be supportive of that child. There are just constant comparisons throughout the book of this role reversal, which kind of leads into this next, and I think the biggest theme of the book, which is that of borders. Borders of mothers and daughters, like in this situation, or of gender, or of course of countries. This book is hugely about the separation of Pakistan and India, and I would say that there are references to it throughout the book, but it really, the further on you get in the book, the more that this becomes a very clear part of it, I'll say. But Ma has like such a beautiful outlook on what borders are and what they do. There is this absolutely incredible quote. "Border," Ma says. "Border, do you know what a border is? What is a border? It's something that surrounds an existence. It's a person's perimeter, no matter how large, no matter how small. The edge of a handkerchief, the border of a tablecloth, the embroidery on my shawl, the edges of the sky, the beds of flowers in this yard, the borders of fields, the parapet around this roof, a picture frame. Everything has a border. However, a border is not created to be removed. It is meant to illuminate both sides. You removed me. Should I leave? No. A border does not enclose, it opens out, it creates a shape, it adorns an edge. This side of the edging blossoms, as does that. Embroider the border with a shimmering vine, stud it with precious stones. What is a border? It enhances a personality. It gives strength. It doesn't tear apart. A border increases recognition, where two sides meet and both flourish. A border ornaments their meeting." And there's a lot of talk about border in that section of the book and others, but I couldn't just read you like 5 pages of the book. That would be a little ridiculous. You would probably get bored of sitting here through that. Overall, this book was a delight and I really enjoyed it. There were, of course, moments that I did struggle getting through it, but it was always saved by some new and very different and even silly at times thoughts or events that happened, or perspectives, I'll say. Like, you could be reading and then all of a sudden you're getting like the perspective of the door or of crows that are outside. Like, it's incredible that all of this is contained in this book, but it was just, none of it felt like weird or cheesy. It all just felt like it made perfect sense. And I knew immediately when I started reading this book that I just absolutely loved the writing style. Like, it's so good. And the translation has to be amazing because the wordplay, the alliteration, the rhyming, the listing of words, and the way that they would kind of like flow together, it was almost like poetry. It was just incredibly well done, and I can't imagine what this is like to read in the actual Hindi, but it's gotta be amazing because in English it was amazing for those parts, so I can't imagine. So do the Booker Frog, and I recommend this book. Yes, it gets a ribbit from the frog. That means I do recommend reading Tomb of Sand. It really is a fantastic book, so I definitely recommend grabbing a copy of it. And before I close out this video, I do want to say that I will be doing a live stream on my channel, my first ever live stream on this channel, along with Kieran from Katie Books for the announcement of the International Booker Prize. So please do subscribe and come to that. I'd love to see you there. And besides that, if you've read Tomb of Sand, I'd love to know your thoughts, and I hope to see you in the live stream. Bye.